The Butterfly That's Stamped is part of a series of books known as Just the Stories by Rudyard Kipling. These are collected short stories. The stories explain how things supposedly came to be. Plot: The Butterfly That's Stamped is one of the stories that is about King Solomon, his lovely wife Baucis, his other 999 wives, and two charming but quarrelsome butterflies. Solomon is a very wise man, but is very annoyed with his surplus wives and all the quarreling. He thinks they are very loud and ungrateful. He refuses to use his magic to do anything about it because he believes it is just showing off, something he will not do. One day, when walking in his forest, Suleiman bin Daud stumbles upon two butterflies arguing. The male butterfly tells his wife he could stamp his foot and the huge palace garden would disappear in a bid to control her because she is quarreling with him. And as he tells the king, you know how women are. Suleiman bin Daud finds the claim amusing and calls the butterfly over. After asking the butterfly why he lied, he tells the butterfly that if he has to, he will help him. Meanwhile, Baucis has a talk with the butterfly's wife, who says she is only pretending to agree with him, because, you know how men are. Baucis tells her she should dare her husband to stamp his foot, as he must be lying, and then she can argue with him again. Really, she is hoping the disappearance of the palace will shock the other wives into obedience. The female butterfly dares her husband, and a butterfly prevaricates by telling her the king called him over to ask him not to, because he is afraid of the butterfly. The wife insists he stamps, and he goes to the king, who tells him he will make it happen to help control his wife. Sympathizing with the butterfly's plight, the butterfly stamps and the palace disappears. This makes the butterfly's wife scared, and she promises never to argue with him again as long as he brings it back, leaving Solomon in fits of laughter. But when the garden vanishes, Solomon's less pleasant wives are deathly afraid, believing that the king is dead and the heavens are mourning the news. Baucis claims it was the butterfly who was angry at his wife, and they realize that if the king will do this for the sake of a tiny butterfly, what will he do to us, we who have been making him miserable with our quarreling? And they in turn become scared of Solomon's powers, and are nice and quiet from then on. Baucis then explains to Solomon what had happened, and how it was all for his benefit, for if he will do all this for the sake of a butterfly, it cannot be wrong to help himself occasionally, and they return to the palace.